Do you like my new
So,
did I show it to you?
no, but I have one similar to that, but in green.
I know, I know.
Oh, yeah, we live together. Duh.
We used to live together. Oh, right. Forgot about that year
Right,
that we lived
that.
together.
Yeah.
Saw you every day. Oh, how annoying.
Do you remember when we lived together and we had to evacuate for the fires?
Oh, yeah, that was so great. No, it wasn't. It fucking sucked.
I have two favorite memories. One
Yeah.
is me on the phone with my mom in my room being like, yeah, mom, I think it's fine. And then Jenny from the living room goes, guys,
I can
Natalie
see
and I-
the fires.
Natalie and I like ran to the door and you're standing in the door like, and we look out our front door and it's just fire. And we were like, we gotta go.
It was so crazy.
Go,
It was so
go.
crazy. And I remember, like, because it was us. So out of our 5 roommates,
Yeah.
like 5 girls that lived there, it was 4 of us at home, and the roommate was at the theater. She was at the movie
Right.
theater for something. But we were all like, everybody was like, okay, we gotta get going. We gotta get going,
We
you know?
gotta go.
And we all started packing our shit, and I remember, like, having, because, you know, call back to the fact that I'm a child of divorce. I had to call both my parents, and it was like 3 in the fucking morning in Iceland
Yeah.
when this is happening, and both my parents were panicking,
Mhm.
and I was fucking panicking too, and
Yeah.
I called my Icelandic friend, whom I had met once,
Yeah.
and was like, can I come stay with you? And he was like, I'm on the way, bitch.
Yeah.
I remember specifically, I was kind of like trying to keep it together. Natalie looked very, like, she knew what she was doing, and I went up to her.
She was
And
a
I,
woman
like-
on a mission.
Oh, she was a woman on a mission, and she used to
Yeah.
do this thing where she would hug us for 8 seconds a day, because she knew that you're supposed to hug for 8 seconds every day.
Yes.
And I remember walking up to her and like, and then I just went, Natalie, I need my 8 seconds. It was so great. But then Sarah started panicking. I mean, we were all panicking. I remember Sarah was panicking. And, bro,
Yes.
it was so funny.
So for context,
Yes.
it was me, Sarah, and the roommate in a room.
Yeah.
And so Sarah and I, and the room's not big for 3 people.
No.
Like it was a bunk bed and then a bed. So Sarah and I trying to pack in that room. And
Mhm.
I don't do well when people panic. Like I'm like a
Yes.
stay calm. Like I'm internally freaking out, but I'm very composed.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah's the opposite. And she was like throwing shit. It was just
Yes.
like pacing in the room.
I felt so bad for her in that moment because I was like, I so want to help you, but I gotta take care of myself
but I gotta
first.
go.
The roommate called her, was on the way home. She had called me, and I was like, fire's outside, get your ass home. You know, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I may have disliked her. That's not to say I don't want her to be fucking safe.
Right. I was like, girl,
And-
get home. Also, because she had a car. So I was like, girl, get
She
your
had a car, like,
Get Sarah,
get your car,
get out.
get somewhere. And then she started calling Sarah.
Uh-huh.
And was like, you need to pack my stuff. And Sarah's already panicking, not packing
Right.
her own stuff. Calls her mom
Right.
and starts like bitching about how the roommate is like, she's telling me to pack her stuff, and now I need to go pack her stuff. And then I just hear, no, I'm in the living room. Sarah's in the living room freaking out. And then I just hear from your room, Sarah!
I yelled at her like I was her mother.
Yes.
And the
And
best part is I don't really remember doing that. It wasn't until like everyone was safe that Jenny and Natalie were like, girl, why did you yell?
Like, my mom used that tone with me as a kid.
I think it's because I felt so bad for her. Because like
Yes.
she was already so stressed about getting her own stuff. And
Yes.
then this girl calls her
And
and
she
is like, girl,
wasn't
pack my
putting
shit
her
for
oxygen
her.
mask on.
Right. And I was like, you also have to think about the fact, like I said, that she's like throwing shit across this room,
Yes.
which isn't big to begin with. And I'm like tripping over her suitcase. And now she pulls out the roommate suitcase. I was done. I was like, Sarah,
It was...
no, you don't.
No, you don't!
And then I think I promptly went and ripped my Wicked poster off the wall.
Oh, well, yes. Oh, Natalie can tell us exactly how she experienced that. Actually, I want to let her tell that story.
Actually, yes. Yes.
Which kinda
Natalie's
leads
going
us
to tell this story
into-
because she does such a good reenactment of it.
Oh, yes. But that kind of leads us into the fact that we are back. Welcome to the next episode of That's My Line, guys. We are currently in different states. We're so back. Same
We're
bullshit.
in different time zones.
Yes. I'm bored as fuck. Get home.
Well, you're picking me up from the airport tomorrow, so yes.
Yes. Counting down the minutes. So when we're recording this, it is promptly Saturday, January 3rd. Happy New Year.
Happy birthday,
is
Avery
gonna-
Loftus.
Happy birthday, Avery Loftus?
Uh-huh.
Happy birthday, Avery Loftus!
It's Avery's birthday
today.
So basically, this is Avery's birthday episode.
Well, yes. But we have an awesome guest on the podcast today. She will be joining the call in a minute. That is our wonderful, wonderful third part of the trio. Natalie.
So I was like, our third? Like, what do we say?
Our third. But hang on, let me rephrase that. Our third. Natalie.
Our third.
Who is it? The third. The
Natalie
third of what?
GARGIULO,
No.
the third.
Just the third.
We do have Miss Natalie.
We do have Miss Natalie. She is zooming in with us from New York City. Where you been?
Again, bring it back.
Welcome, Natalie.
Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh.
So good. How are you?
I'm so excited.
I miss
I'm
you.
literally like over the moon. I miss you guys so much. And when you asked me to be on this, I was like, this is just a great excuse to gab with you guys for like 2 hours and then be able to put it on my resume. And I love that.
Yes.
That's the whole point of this.
Don't
Jenny's
worry,
trying
we're
to get a
doing
green card.
IMDb.
Right. I was like, I am helping Jenny stay in the country.
Welcome, Natalie Gargiulo. This is Natalie, dear listeners. She was our wonderful, wonderful roommate and a bestie boo.
Our third.
Our third. Oh, you missed that part.
That's what we
Natalie.
decided before you joined.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I was introducing you and essentially just like, oh, like, I was about to say, like, she was the third of the trio, and Jocelyn thought I was just gonna stop after the third.
She was our
She's like,
third.
so she's just the third. And I was like, honestly,
She's the third.
yeah. Natalie, she's the
Yeah.
third.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm the third.
Yeah. There were three
Yeah.
of us in this marriage, and it was a bit crowded, but I loved
It's
it.
crowded, but-
Welcome, Natalie. How are you?
I am over the moon. I am so excited to be here, but also like 2026, I know like I saw a little bit of what's going on like in the world, but in my personal life, it's day 3. What the heck? New season, new divas have entered the villa. I
love.
am like in such a good place right now. And I'm so excited to see where this, at least like this month, takes us alone, because I'm like, the first 3 days was crazy.
Fuck,
So.
yes. Oh my gosh,
I
she
know.
is L-A-V-A-N. Tell us about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? And where are you now?
Hi, so my name is Natalie Gargiulo. I am originally I was born and raised in Chesapeake, Virginia, but both of my parents are from New York. My dad's
Slay.
from Ozone Park, Queens, and my mom is from upstate New York, close to Buffalo, South Salamanca. If you know, you know. And
don't.
I have, yeah, you don't know, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. No worries.
Because it is if you know, you know.
I don't.
Right.
You know, and I don't. It's okay.
Right.
But yes, so I'm originally from Virginia, but I have been in New York since the summer of 2022. That's when I started my AMDA experience. I did the conservatory certificate, just like our two lovely hosts. And then I started the bachelor's degree program online for 2 semesters while I lived and existed in the city. That really took it out of
Yes.
me, and I was like, you know what? I need a summer abroad. I got accepted to an intensive and went to Germany and was like, yay, Deutschland. and then was like, I was 19 at the time. I was like, I'm 19, I'm young, let's get some life experience. So I was like, let's go to LA to finish my BFA. So
Hell yeah.
I went over to LA, met these two jokesters, and the rest is history. So right now, I am unfortunately not in LA. I graduated with Jenny herself, Jenny from the block.
Yeah.
And Jocelyn shortly after, but like she was there in spirit. She didn't come to our graduation because we hate her and she hates us. She's actually hated us this whole time. Earlier. This is just part
so
of
much was happening in my life, bitch.
I know.
So true.
I know. True. But still, your presence was missed. But I then went to Germany again and then moved back across the country to New York and have been here since August. I now work in the city. I am working both as like a performing artist, mostly in musical theater, but I am open to other opportunities. That's why I was so excited to come onto this podcast. And then I also have just like a day job. I work in retail and it's, honestly not bad. I currently still love it, but I am so excited for this year's audition season because I think 2026 is the year for me.
Yes.
So we'll see.
I think so too.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Get back to me in March.
Something's coming. All right, we will.
Yeah.
Right.
There will be a callback in March from us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello? Right.
Hello? Do you want to get back? Tell us where you are now.
Thank you. Where are they now?
For that introduction. Exactly. Honestly, we're going to do that. You'll be back. You'll be back later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nina.
God damn it.
Clip that. So we have a few questions for you, and then we also have some stories that we want to talk about and let you tell the stories.
Yes.
So one thing that we kind of wanted you to touch on is why did you move back to New York? Why did you want to do that?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's see. My time in LA was really, really great. And I really loved the school aspect of it. I felt kind of safe and protected in that community. And I really loved that community itself of just the school, the faculty, the teachers, the people, the experiences. I felt good in that fish bowl, for lack of better term. But when I was thinking more about it of logistically of how am I going to get around? How am I going to live? Where am I going to live? It was always the plan to leave because I still had my apartment here and was paying a small fee, a storage fee pretty much, paying a little bit of my part of rent to kind of keep my stuff here. So it was always the plan to go to LA for 8 months and then move back. While I was there, I started getting pulled away from that plan and seeing oh my gosh, I feel so not loved and accepted because it's not oh my gosh, I felt my place, but I really felt seen and I didn't really feel that in New York. It was just school experience was a different energy. I became kind of more myself. I really grew as a person, not only as a performer, but personally I grew a lot. I met my
because of us, right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
So it was a massive, just a wonderful time. So I think I wanted to live in that and try to keep that. But the more I thought of the logistics of okay, I can romanticize my life here, but realistically what is it going to look like? And I just didn't really like the picture. Mm-hmm. So I was let me move back to New York. I was kind of itching for that. I felt a little bit more independent here because I can walk, I can take the train. I know my way around. I felt a little bit more confident. And I felt with this newfound me in LA, let's try to bring her back to New York. And I felt this new wind in my sails. And then 3 months, I had that crazy 3 months of graduating, going to Germany, moving across the country within the span of 2 days. I had this massive whirlwind of a 3 months, and then I was unemployed for a month and was no, everything's fine. I'm just trying to look for a job, whatever, staying home, resting. And then when I finally got my day job here, it kind of killed me. And then the last 3 months of the year were just like not good. It was kind of a delayed reaction. But it was just kind of like, not like bad, but it was more of like one of those things of like, I didn't have time to process all that happened. Because like, I didn't cry at graduation. I didn't cry when I left. Like, I wasn't really emotional. So all those emotions kind of came at the tail end. But after that, like, very prolix answer. Right. After that very like prolix response, like my decision to kind of like come back to the city was I felt confident enough to give it like another go. I no longer felt burnt out or like beat up by the city. And I was like, I felt like I was, hey, round 2, let's go,
Yeah. I think I also noticed in LA, like you got so much freedom to explore your artistry, like, because in New York, it's a conservatory. You have little to no time to do anything other than what is the project right now, and like all these 20 projects a week that you have to turn in and figure out. In LA, especially, like I noticed with you, Natalie, is that like you created that like concept of a musical, and you kind of got to fly in different aspects, and it was really cool to watch.
Yeah, and I definitely felt that as well.
Non-ironically, the musical was about Amelia Earhart, so you saying you got to
flying. No, but like, and I definitely felt that too.
I know what I'm doing.
Right? Hey, that's a soundbite. That's a soundbite. We're going for the soundbites, girls.
Clip that. Clip that.
Clip it. But so I definitely found that in myself too. Of like, that's like the way I kind of contextualize it and put it into words is I not only found myself as a person, but as a performer, because like you said, as a conservatory, it's really, really like hardcore. You're just focusing on like the technique, because they're just like hammering it into you. And then when you go to LA and they're like, we don't have to do paperwork for this. Like, don't do particularization. Don't even worry about it. Like, just do what feels right. It's like, okay, I have all of these tools. Let's play with them. And it wasn't like, I'm going to just leave what, doesn't work for me. But it's also like, okay, how can I curate who I am as a performer so that I can function in the professional world? Because in New York, it just felt like I'm a student and I'm a mold that these teachers are kind of molding. And then after that, like, foundation, I was able to build like a little pretty house with like interior decorating, and it's just like,
yay.
So
I love.
Speaking of our pretty little house, in our cold open, we were talking about evacuation. And we would like you to retell the story of me ripping that poster off the wall.
We all have eyes. Some of us in the house had eyes, some didn't. And I think here's the deal.
Do we all really have eyes?
All of us? Do we? Can we see? Can we use them? Let's take our eyes and see around us, and maybe put 2 and 2 together. So this is the deal. So
oh my god, this is so good.
We were kind of hearing things, we were hearing chatter, we all kind of were aware, not like maybe getting or like live, notifications, but we were still like understanding maybe the situation at hand. So when it got to a certain point of like, okay, you're in a yellow zone, that's when you start packing your bag. You don't pack your bag when they're like, get the fuck out of the house! Like, you're not leaving then. So, when we saw smoke by the other dorm, we were like,
smoke. Fire!
Like, and it was actual fire. It wasn't just smoke, it was fire.
Oh,
Fuego. And, we were packing. And I just love I love Joss for this reason. You can always see her in a big top little pant with her AirPods in, and she means business. She's either in like a Detroit Lions t-shirt with like boxer shorts or like something, and then she always like fixes her AirPods, and then she's like, I'm locked in and I'm doing
tough little
so
pants.
all I'm doing is and I was like, so I was like kind of packing, and I'm like, okay, Mom, like I need a game plan, like what do I need to pack? Like, okay, so I have to take like my 1,000 pairs of Laduca shoes because like I can't like all the things I can't replace.
Oh, the Laducas.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
The Lenzukas, that is my life. Those are my life. That's my
That's an
profession.
investment.
That's an investment. I cannot lose. That's like stocks. Like, I can't lose that or I will be dead. So
Yes.
I was like, this, I can't lose these. So I was packing and like kind of thinking about that. Jenny was kind of doing her thing. Like, we were all kind of locked in. And then I hear this irritating, this annoying, grating voice behind me. Yeah, Miss Abby Miller said it herself. I hear, and I was like, what the fuck? And I turned the corner and I see Joss in her own thing, AirPods in, with these posters in her hand, and she's just like, get out of my way. And she's packing them in her suitcase, laying them down. She like rolled one up. And I was like, you go, girl. Like, those are her investments. Like, her football posters, her movie posters, her La La Land posters. You could see all of this, like, memorabilia in it. I was like, there's no clothes. There's no clothes. There's no toiletries. But they're all posters. There were no clothes. And then, while she's packing, she's locked and she goes, I need this. Walls bare. Ass out. Ears locked. We were all in our own thing. And then little Miss Putsy Putz comes out and goes, what's going on? Just, went from there. and then it escalated to, I don't know what I'm doing. We were in our own world. Now we have to help our other roommate try to get through it. And it was just like, tensions were high, stakes were high. We did survive together though. So
we did indeed.
Yeah. Okay, first of all,
so
that was so much better than either of us telling that story. That was so good.
Oh yeah.
Second of all,
thank you.
For fucking context.
That's why I'm the third. That's why I'm the third.
That's why you're the third.
It was for context, it was my limited edition Wicked picture disc vinyl poster in a fucking frame. I took that bitch with me.
You did, and you were like, in the frame, and I was like, it's not
in the frame too.
Yeah.
It was so funny, because the thing's like, I don't remember that part. I don't remember her ripping off the Wicked poster. I remember seeing you, like, put all your posters in your bag, and I was like, okay. My focus, like, Natalie's focus was the Laducas. Jocelyn was the posters. Mine, all my fucking immigration forms.
You literally had that, like, envelope, and you're like, where's my passport? Where's my visa? Where's this paperwork? Have you seen this? And I was like, it's like a red, I think it was like a red or blue folder, and it was like
it's my
all of that.
red folder.
She was like, this is my life! I will be illegal if I don't have this! And I was like...
That was also the one thing that my mom told me, like, when I called her, she was like, the documents, cash, that's all. And I grabbed, like, I grabbed a picture of I grabbed a picture of my wall of, like, my mom and then of my great-grandma, as if I don't have these pictures on my phone, I needed the physical ones that I've already printed.
Yes.
Yes,
yeah.
But I thought it was so funny, like, especially, like, in the weeks after, when we were all back, and Natalie, like, you kept telling people the story and, like, reenacting it with the actual poster on the wall, and it was the way that you, like, you always went, like, can you reenact for us what Jocelyn looked like when she was taken off that one poster?
Yes, okay. So the poster's gonna be here, cause
hang on. First things. You gotta do the ma, get in character.
Ma. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I gotta get on my throat or my chords. Okay. And funnily enough, she took like half the wall with her. That's the real gag. That's the real thing.
But the gag is she wasn't there.
The gag is so the right. So the funniest thing ever was the fact that it was because it was like the landlord special. There was like 15,000 layers of paint. You not only take like the command strips or like the tape.
Of course.
It was freaking 3 layers of paint too.
Yeah.
It all went, and she put it in. She's like, I'm not even taking the goddamn tape off. You were just like, bam, done. You're like, I'm gonna rehang it in a week if it's here. Yeah. I love how we also had that conversation of like, what if it's not here? Like, what if we just don't come back? Like, what if it's like COVID 2.0? Like, we evacuate or like we leave for like a week and we just never go back. It's like, I don't know about you guys, but I was gone for a week.
Nobody came back for another
Weird
week.
times.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But you know what it was? Do you think it was crazier or not as crazy as our Subway story? Natalie?
You know,
It's a different kind of crazy.
it is a different kind of crazy on a scale of like 0 to like what's a crazy thing that we could have at 10? I don't know, but like on a scale of like 1 to 10, I think
On a scale of
that
0 to Jenny's 22nd birthday party.
I wasn't there though. Was I? Wait.
Yes, you were.
I'm sorry, I was like, wait.
It was in our house.
I was there, and on a scale of 1 to Jenny's 22nd birthday, I mean, it also depends on like the context. I think the Subway story was outrageous, but
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily crazy because it was in like maybe a somewhat sketchy part of New York. It was a little late,
Yeah.
but not crazy late. I would give it
Mhm.
maybe like a solid 6 because it
Yes,
was
fair.
like not insane, but still insane enough to be like that
Mhm.
was wild. Because like I still don't know what was in that drink, but I think
I love how
that
they
it
had
tell us
so
still
about
told
that.
the story.
and,
We'll
right, and
tell
I
you.
think we'll get there. The evacuation
Yeah.
story, I honestly think comes in at like maybe a strong 7, just because it wasn't only the picture ripping; it was no, you don't, and it was the fact that Stade, and we didn't really know him at the time,
He's
and
just
he
there
just
in our
comes
living
in,
room.
and you've got like a freaking body bag, the big red like duffel.
Just right on his
and
back
it
like
was
no
just
problem.
Like you were taking it, and I had 2 suitcases and a duffel bag walking down the street to the train.
You
I had to take the train to my sister's friend's house, and then my sister's house to somebody else's house, and then we took the train to San Diego. Like as a whole, like that particular moment might not be crazy, but that whole just experience was like a solid 7.5.
So
Yeah.
for context, Stade is my Icelandic friend that I told the audience about earlier that I had met once and then just opened his home for me and then 2 other
Help.
friends. I was literally,
Yeah.
I was like, hi, I see the fires. And he said, I'm on my way, bitch. And then he just threw that huge ass duffel bag. It was so funny. He just stood there in the living room, everybody running around, and he was just like, can I take anything?
Hi.
No one knew who
because
this man was.
I like walked into the living room at one point and he was just standing there and I like stopped in my tracks and he just went, hi. And it was like, hello?
And like funnily
Who are
enough,
you?
like, he's one of my best friends now, and it's just so funny that like to think that these wildfires started that insane work. But
And the funniest thing is, like, I remember I was on my way out, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "It was so nice meeting you," and like just like rolled away, and he was just like,
it was a
okay.
Natalie Gargiulo drive-by.
Yeah, it was a drive-by. It was a Natalie Gargiulo drive-by. Although
Yes.
it wasn't as good as yours truly, but it's okay. I will take seconds. I will take seconds.
Yes. No, but so for those of you that have not heard our Subway story, I can start it, and Natalie, I'd love for you to tell the story with me. Back in the day, as you all know, we still all live in New York, and Natalie worked at the cafe at AMDA for some time while I was in 3rd and 4th semester. And Justin, you were also in 3rd and 4th at the same time. Crazy.
So I was there too.
Yeah, I forget about that part. You forget that this is my playhouse. But
I forget we were no contact.
of course, yeah, we were no contact at the time. But I remember, like, it was the first time we were gonna hang out outside of school. We had met at some random, like, improv thing that everybody went to, and then, like, we became friends through the cafe. And I specifically, like, how Natalie would be at the cafe. She would be like, will that be all? I can scan when ready. All right, have a great one.
Hi, is that all for you today? I can scan your barcode
Yes.
when you're ready.
Yes, it was the beginning part, and then, like, I can scan when you're ready. That is engraved
I
in
can
my
scan when
brain.
you're ready. That was boom.
Yes.
Always there.
Mhm.
So I lived in Brooklyn at the time, and we decided to meet up after I was done with school, which it was like a full day for me. I was done at like 5:30 or something. You waited for me in the lobby, and then we decided to head to Brooklyn so I could drop off my stuff, and then we were going to go to the Bryant Park Winter Village. And as we get to Times Square, we have to take the one to Times Square, switch, because the one doesn't go to Brooklyn. We get to Times Square, 42nd Street, and as we're switching, like, the train came immediately. It was, like, beautiful. It was perfect. And then, like, the doors open, and for those of you that know a classic New York subway. There's like sometimes like 2 seats together or 3 seats, and it was a perfect like 2 seats opened up right as we walked in. It was beautiful. Everything was telling us to get to those seats. And then we get to those seats, and not even a split second later, we're drenched.
We're wet.
In what we're
and
wet.
We're wet.
And we're wet. You know?
End of story. Figure it out.
Story. No more context. Actually, yeah,
Clip
you
it.
weren't there.
Yeah. So we sit down. We're just chatting. We're pretty much like talking to each other like this.
Yes.
All of a sudden, I remember looking over and I'm just like, oh, la, 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 la. And I see this guy kind of like hunched over. He's kind of like, he just goes, and something, and drenched, eyes closed, mouth shut. I'm like, whoa, I am wet from head. And I remember, God bless that train car. I don't know. Those were really our heroes that day, because there was a guy sitting next to him that stands up and just goes, you gotta get the fuck off the train,
and like
now.
lifted him, threw
and he
off
was
the train,
pushed him off, not like pushed, but like pretty much escorted him out. Like he was this just like massive dude, sits in front of us. Yes. I can't tell you how many like baby wipes, hand sanitizer, tissues. They're like, it's new, don't worry, like don't open your mouth, don't open your eyes, wipe it off, whatever. And it was just crazy. And then we were just kind of like sitting in silence. I remember you Snapchatting about it because you're like, oh my God, like my first New York crazy, like crackhead. And I was like, I love that. Because it was still like baby Jenny. Like you were still like happy to be in like the States. And it was like, wow, this is crazy new experience.
Yeah, it was 1 year in.
You were like, yay!
Yeah, so you were still like kind of like shiny Penny and shiny Jenny. And and then the guy in front of us, he started telling us his whole life story. And I don't remember his name, but I remember him just being so sweet because he was
George or something.
He was like something of that sort, like a kind of like an older, like middle-aged like name.
Yeah.
And he was just like, are you ladies all right? But not like, are you ladies all right? It was more like, are you ladies
all
okay?
right?
Like, please let me know. He was definitely like one of those guys that you were like, you know what, you're hope that there's good men out there in the world. I'm a retired military, like I don't remember if he was like Army veteran, but he was a veteran. He's like, I'm a retired veteran and I have major PTSD, and especially in like fight or flight moments, I'm a fighter, and I've been running and like trying to like become more grounded and not be so reactive, but the fact that you ladies stayed so calm, because we didn't get all like it was just since you ladies stayed so calm, I therefore stayed like calm, was able to get the guy off the train, and like it was just kind of like a win-win. And I just remember being like, I believe in humanity. I love New York. I love humans. I love the fact that like we all kind of trauma bonded, but then like forgot everything about it. Like literally the second we stepped off the train car, it was really like a full wholesome, like full circle moment.
It showed you really like the disgusting and beautiful part of New York, because like I remember specifically like the splash happens. My thought process was, this did not just happen. What the fuck just happened? What is going on? And I just remember being like, don't open your eyes, don't open your mouth. This is pee. Like I thought it was pee. The thing is like it was in an Arizona iced tea bottle. So we still to this day don't know exactly what it was. However, it didn't smell like urine, so we think it wasn't urine, and it got sticky, which sugar does, so we were choosing to believe that it was iced tea. But I remember like the splash happens and we were both just like, what the fuck? And then we just froze. And I don't even remember seeing him really like throw the guy off the train. I just heard it. And then like
I saw it a little bit, but it was just like super quick.
Yeah. And it was the way that like he threw him off the train. Very macho man, you know? And then all these women come running with tissues and sanitizer and everything. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, this is humanity. I had faith in humanity once again. And then, like, classic New Yorkers, as soon as all the ladies saw we were fine, they were just like, okay. And just minded their own business. But mind you, we still had, like, 30 more minutes on the train. So, like, sitting there chatting with George, let's just call him George, and learning about his life story. And I remember he said to us, he was like, oh, like, you guys are real New Yorkers, because I would have never reacted that way. And I remember you said, I think it was just like the utter disbelief that this did not just happen that made us both freeze. And I was like, yes. Because what do you mean we were attacked on the subway?
Yeah,
like,
it was crazy. I was like, that did what? Like, you see that
didn't
happen,
just
or like
happen.
you it's like you hear things, but like it's weird. And then the fact that we had to sit in it, and what the thing for me is, I was in a trench coat, so like I just remember my bangs getting all like kind of like separated and gross. And but like I had like a scarf and like trench coat, so I was pretty much protected. But poor Jenny was in sweatshirt and sweatpants, so she was like, I have to shower. And then, so we got home, she, like, full head to toe showered, which I loved, and then I just was like, well, I was pretty much covered, so, like, I stuck my head under the sink, and, like, was rinsing off my bangs, and then just remember, like, I think pulling them to the side, and then we went to the Bryant Park, village, and then we went to Junior's at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning with Stade.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Stade.
No,
it was
not Stade! It was, good. Yes. Sorry.
It was another Icelandic friend.
Yes.
See, I do this thing. I like to collect Icelanders in every major city that I go to, and most of the time, apparently, it's boys. So in New York, it was my good friend Gwydion, and here in LA, it's my good friend Stare. No, it was a great night, and I had a freaking blast, and that kind of like settled the kind of friendship that you and I have, and we just became instant besties. One of my favorite things to do in New York was going to Baguette, as in the cafe at Amda, to bitch with you and the rest of the cafe team. Because I was just like, let me gossip about these fuckers. And it made me very happy when you then told me that you were going to go to LA, because I was like, yay, roommates.
Yeah, and I remember we would like
bitch.
FaceTime and talk, because you were in, Then this diva entered the villa.
That she did.
No, the bombshell has entered the villa.
Piazza dinner was...
Thus began Piazza dinner.
Thus began Piazza dinner, because we had a fifth roommate, as you listeners may have known. We kind of didn't... We didn't feel at our best in our house. And every Friday at promptly 5:20 p.m., we would meet in the Piazza, which is this plaza outside the Amda Cafe. Yeah, Jocelyn, tell us about Piazza dinner. I feel like Natalie and I have talked a lot. Speak.
Yeah. I got scared. No, Piazza dinners were so slay. We would meet on Jenny's time, because it's our world.
Because it's my playhouse.
And we would get dinner at the cafe and like sit in the Piazza until like usually we were all freezing.
Oh yeah.
And we'd be like, we gotta go home, we're cold.
Or until we started to learn to bring sweatshirts, so then we'd stay even longer.
This is true. We improved at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice too, because we all had such different schedules. We would see each other throughout the week, but it was hard to like have all three of us like sit down and like talk.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really nice having time, like Friday nights, we would like recap our week and be like, oh, this was crazy, whatever. And I think also like I would like to credit Piazza dinner for inspiring That's My Line, because
for sure.
One of the Piazza dinners, Jenny brought her mini mics. Yeah. And we used the mini mics and we were like, la 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 at Piazza dinner. And then never did anything with it, but we would like yap into these mics. And
we would
so
pretend
like
to have
the
a
academy.
podcast.
Exactly. That's why we were like, first guest, Natalie.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But no, Piazza dinners were so nice. And then eventually they like alternated with Shake Shack dinners.
Yes.
Because we would get sick of the cafe food because it like kind of sucks. And we would just go get Shake Shack instead. And we'd like always sit in that like back corner booth.
Yes.
And like one of the worst photos of Jenny and I ever was taken at that Shake Shack. And Natalie loves it.
Oh yeah.
It's your profile picture. No, your profile picture is the one where we're at the Griffith Observatory where we hiked there once, and you're like,
yeah.
Your poster when you call me is
God damn it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I love it.
Both of your profile pictures are still the ones we took like the first day when we moved in together.
Yeah, same.
We took like 0.5s of each other, so we would have profile pictures.
And that's for that, because that's still Jenny's. That's the roommates. Yeah.
All the roommates. We all took these specific 0.5 pictures during move-in when we were having our first ever meeting. But no, I really liked Piazza dinners too, because I'm like, I love a good family dinner. Like, that is something that I fucking thrive on. It's what I grew up with, and then my parents split up. But I know, row. And
Womp
then
womp.
I mean, like, it's also like when you're in college and just when you're young, like you're young, single, you're just living by yourself, still with roommates, but like you're still only taking care of yourself. Making dinner for one person sucks. It's the worst. And like every Friday, just sitting down with your friends, like once a week, talking about the week. What did we do? Because like we were all in different places. Like, yeah, Justin and I, we were in the same program, but different semesters. And Natalie, you in musical theater, we in acting. So it was just such a nice way to what am I trying to say? Like
Just reconnect
just
with each other.
debrief.
Because like
Yes.
debrief
Reconnect and debrief.
and my favorite, like my also like favorite thing about Piazza dinners that I honestly miss, and I feel like I feel that void and I just didn't know how to like name it,
Mm-hmm.
was not like, yeah, we kind of saw each other through the week, but we were all doing our own thing, but we had that time where it was being able to just like be with friends and just chat and just do nothing. Like we
Yeah.
bonded over a specific situation we were all in or a
Mm-hmm.
circumstance that we were all dealing with, but we were able to just, or then like some random like side person from like my program or your program or like
Yeah.
Jocelyn's class or like,
Yeah.
you know, oh, this is
Some
like a
people will
random person.
join.
Right. Like, and it would be kind of just like this flexing sort of amoeba, but it was still like we just were there and just present. And I miss that
Mm-hmm.
now because I'm like, I don't have that. Like it feels like, okay,
Yeah.
now I have like a, yes, I had a school schedule, but it was so much easier because we all lived together. And now it's like,
Yeah.
when works best for you? And there's this 3 hour time difference, or, you know, especially with my
Yeah.
friends in the city, it's like, oh, I work or they're working or we're
Yeah.
not working, or like it's just kind of like scheduling.
That's
Like
so
it
sad.
just didn't feel forced. Like it didn't feel planned. It didn't
Yeah.
feel forced. It was very natural and
No.
just like I
It
miss it.
was just everybody had that time slot available,
Mhm.
and it was such a great way to end the week every single week. Like we'd never skip the Piazza dinner, I think. And there was never like a moment where like one of us was missing. Like even if somebody had to run for some rehearsal, it was just like we still rehearsal started at 7. Like we would have that hour of just locking in and just
Or
being us
that
and being present.
was there that was it Piazza dinner that one time when I had Sweeney Todd rehearsals with the Norwegian and you guys came and got me and you took that little video of like that super fast video and you're like walking across the
Yes.
street.
I think
Was
that
that
was.
Piazza dinner? Because I feel like there might
I
have been like a
do.
one-off where we had to like reschedule it,
Yes.
but I don't
Yes, there
remember if
were.
that was a Friday or not.
I think
Mm-hmm.
it was because there were times that it was like one of us couldn't make it, so it would be like two of us would lock in, and then like the third would join like when they were available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were
Yeah.
like taking a really long fucking time.
Yeah,
And
and
so
we were like, bitch,
let's
where
go
the fuck are
find
you?
her. So Jenny and I took like a 0.5 like
Yes.
time
I brought my
lapse.
Honey Nut Cheerios with us.
Yes,
As a snack.
and you're
And
all
we,
in
like-
sweats and you're just like incognito.
Yes, because like okay, for context, like so there's like like the main AMDA campus, and then across the street there's another building, and so
Yeah.
Jenny and I knew she was in that building, but we didn't know where
Because we had
And
your
so-
location.
right, and so we were like, let's just go walk around and find her. So I took a 0.5 of us like walking to try to find her, and
And I remember
We
because I
found
was
her.
on like the first floor that so like the piazza's
Yeah.
in the main building, and then like I was on
Yeah.
like the first floor of like the other like the alternate building, and I
it
remember
was
you
a
going
very fast
I re-
heist.
and I remember you were like, thank God it was such a fast heist. I was not walking up any more stairs. And I was just like, my hips can't take it. I was like, no, girl, I don't want to be between you and your hips. Like, gosh.
I was like, thank God, because I was like really, my adrenaline was running, and then I was like, if she's not up here, I'm giving up.
I'm done.
Yep.
We're gonna just go.
And the
But
way
the
that
other
also
thing
like
is
you
even if
weren't in
someone
a
could-
room. You were in the
we
hallway.
We were, but we weren't. Like, we got kind of like
Yeah.
moved out. Like, we were kind of like on our
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
out. But but like on that point, just to kind of like reiterate the point I made before, was just like it felt natural. Like, even if it was just two people and a third person joined, it wasn't like pressure. It was just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like you get here when you get here, and it wasn't like there was an expectation or like we held that against the other person. Like, it just was so natural
Yeah.
because that was like the essence of that was the essence of James. That was the essence of Piazza dinner.
This is not the first time that Jenny's light has died when we're recording.
I fully charged this bitch. That's so rude. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, also while we're hold, do you want to see my outfit? I'm actually really proud of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're green dress pants. I've got a black turtleneck with a
Mm-hmm.
like vest, and then I
Yeah.
had my docs on, and then look at my hair.
Oh, I love.
I love
I have
it.
been in my 90s rom-com era, particularly Sandra Bullock. So I'm feeling very her today, and
Love.
I just needed that to be said and heard and appreciated.
Talking about how nice it was that like it was so easy to schedule it. It was just at the same time and you just showed up if you could and then people joined if they wanted to. It was so chill and feeling now like Natalie you're saying like trying to figure out where to put someone in your schedule. And like I'm going to be so honest with you guys, right now I have no job, I have no schedule. I just have life and I have a house. But like that is something that and like let me know if you guys agree like it's something that's so different from when you were a kid and just younger in general. You could hang out with your friends for hours after school and now you can't
Yeah.
really do that because everybody has so many responsibilities and it's like I get a text message from like my friends back home when I go home and they're like we should meet up and I'm like okay I'm available July 18th at 9 p.m. Anybody else? Like we're scheduling this months in advance,
Yeah.
you know? And that's something that I didn't think about when I was younger, you know? Like you just hung out.
Yeah.
And now it's like I need to make an appointment with you like you're the dentist to see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Or it's like you like pencil something in. Like I'm a big thing of just like trying to get plans in the book and then once you have that plan of like, oh, it's coffee or it's a FaceTime or
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
a brunch or it's something
Yeah.
and then if that has to move, that's fine. It's like even though we were all on different schedules, it was just like we were all in the same situation. Like not even just living in
Yeah.
the same house, but like being in school. So it's like I would
Yeah.
remember like I'd remember like running into you and it's like being in just this fishbowl. Like we were
Yeah.
in a bubble and we were
Mhm.
in the AMDA bubble and it was just like easier to just kind of like manipulate a little
I owned
bit.
a bubble.
The bubble.
Oh, the bubble.
Look at
But
me
like
making you guys vocal stim.
but it's just like feels like on the other side of it, especially being in like a bigger city and like outside of a bubble or
Yeah.
like it's very much just like you have to plan things weeks in advance. Like I
Yeah.
have like brunches and things planned like a month and a half in advance because it's like
Mhm.
these are the only days we're available. And I think that's what's really difficult sometimes for me about being somewhat an adult. Like girl, I'm only 20, but like it's
Yeah.
still like having to be adulting and self-sufficient. And the tricky part between the collegiate like life
Yeah.
and then kind of transferring into the adulthood like we were kind of talking about
Yeah.
was having a schedule. Like you have a work schedule, you have a I'm going to take this class or I have a voice lesson or I have
Mhm.
this other job or I have this thing or this cabaret or whatever. But I'm so used to showing up for other people that then it's like, when do I show up for myself? So it's like you're just
Yeah.
juggling all these things of like, I want to have a social life, but that's taking energy away from me. Or I need to be good at my job, so that's taking energy away from my social life. So it's just like there's so
Yeah.
many buckets, and I'm just like, ah,
Another
Yes.
prime example of this is us trying to schedule this podcast. Because
Mhm.
one, we literally started this podcast as an excuse to be like, we have to hang out once a week, like minimum.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
we need to do that. But like prime example of you earlier when you were like, I have no job, was me texting Jenny, like, when do you want to record this week? And she was like, I have no job. I can record whenever. And I was
Honestly,
like,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, everything about Piazza Dinner was wonderful and it was kind of like the last little moment of, like not having to schedule hangouts weeks and months in advance before
Mhm.
we then graduated and left Jocelyn to the wolves by herself at AMDA. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But Natalie, we have some questions for you.
oh, okay.
Jocelyn, whip it out.
Don't mind if I do.
Actually,
Remember when we used to
one thing
flash
I
each
do want to
other
say.
randomly?
Wait,
That
what?
really brought us. We used to flash each other.
Oh, when I
randomly.
flashed?
Yes, we used to live together and we used to flash each other. It used to
I
be like,
forgot.
it used to be like, all right, you know what? Let's see the tits. Titties out.
I was
Um,
peer pressured into flashing you.
No, you weren't. She's making that up in her head, Natalie,
She was
right?
in a corner between.
No, Natalie, Natalie.
I was in a corner.
Natalie.
You are now not being forced to show your tits.
You are not forced. We did not force you, because my favorite part about that was the fact that she eventually flashed us, and then you said, that was kind of invigorating, or what was it? Exhilarating,
I loved
or something.
it. No, because it was
That's what
so
I'm
like
saying,
woman.
guys.
As a straight woman, it is the woman body is just so beautiful.
I agree.
I'm just like, we really are a work of art. And even if it's like different proportions, different shapes, like what I remember us talking about this a little bit, but just like the shape of someone's chest, like if you don't grow up with a sister or you're not really close to your mom, like you think they're weird and awful and gross, but then you're like, when you realize that everybody's looks different, unique, like they're almost like a fingerprint, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
ow.
No titties are the same. Titties are like fingerprints.
I love that.
Whip out
And
the
they
titties,
just make-
everybody. Anyway, let's
go to
segue
questions.
into like, Natalie, where are you at? Your career, all that you're doing. Jocelyn, do you have him?
I do. So, like, is there an audition that sticks out to you that you've done, like, for good, for bad? Like,
I have quite a few audition stories.
Yes.
So thank you for that amazing question. And I would have to say that I've won something, like I've something in the works. I think that's why these past 2 days have also been crazy, because I got a like callback. I got contacted by something that I was really excited about, because it was something that I submitted myself for, not that my manager submitted before, but I knew that it was
Okay.
kind of like one of those situations, like the reason they were calling back to me was because I have been in front of them a few times now. So that was kind of cool.
Wonderful.
But the one audition that I always think of as a horror story, as a like, what the hell are we doing? What am I doing with my life? That kind of thing. Horror
That
story.
classic, yes.
I don't know if I actually want to say like the theater company, because it wasn't the theater
No.
company itself. It was just my personal experience within it. But let me just say that it was like fourth semester, or like right out of fourth semester. It was right when I was very, very new to like, I have these tools. What am I doing? Stuff like that. I auditioned for this production of White Christmas. And I went with a friend of mine. She was like, let's go to this tap audition. So excited. Well, we're in this together. We were in the same group. We were in the same room. Like it was great. We also had a few teachers from AMDA there as well. And that was crazy.
Oh, nice.
And we were in this production. We were auditioning for White Christmas. And I remember we got let go because they're like, you guys come back after lunch. And so we had like a little snack, came back. I knew going in that it was a rhythm tap combo. And I was like, I got that. I'm aware that it's going to be rhythm tap. So like, I can mentally prep for, it's just going to be a different vibe than very like Fred Astaire,
What
Ginger
is
Rogers
rhythm
sort
tap?
of tap. So think of it as like, you have like the Broadway sort of like golden age tap, which is very like 42nd Street precision. Everything's lifted up here, but then you're doing crazy things with your feet. Rhythm tap, street tap, sort of that kind of vibe is very down in the ground. Think very much like it's more like free and like improv. It's kind of like avant-garde in a sense. Like it's very just like everything's in the feet and everything's super intricate. You're trying to fill every single count.
You can do whatever you want.
It's like you're filling every single count. It's just like the jazz of dance. You're just doing it, and it's funky and it's weird and it's quirky and it's just its thing. And you're all just doing intricate movements with your tap, and like nothing's wrong. Like you can't do something wrong, but you can do things incorrectly. Because it's like you have to cherish the art of the tap. Of the rhythm tap, of the rhythm tap genre. So it was rhythm tap. So I knew that it was going to be very intricate, very quick, very fast. They're going to try to fill out every single count of each 8-bar. I remember being in there, and I had my blue tap shoes on. I had my blue Lululemon jacket because they were new at the time. And I was like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And I went into the room. I was feeling somewhat all right. And he does the first step. And I literally said in my head, fuck. And I didn't really use that language at the time, but in my head, I just was like, oh, damn, we're done. That's what went through my head. oh damn, we're done. Clip it, clock it, because it was bad. It was really bad. Mind you, a dance audition is not you have 16 bars, you sing, and then you leave. It's not like you have 1 to 2 minutes. When you're in a dance call, it can span from anywhere to 30 to 45 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But we were in there for, I think, an hour. So I had to sit in that room and try to like dance and like not cry and be okay. Got none of the combination. Had to be a bumbling buffoon. And I started, and I literally never started. I was up there, the music started, and it was just, I'm making it up, and I'm dancing with my arms, and everything's fine, and nothing's happening with my feet. And I was also like
Right.
I also kind of not loved it, but like I was happy to be with my friend and my classmate and my, colleague because she was really good at rhythm tap and she stepped out of the room and we stepped out like because you always say like you're never out of the audition until you're off 8th Ave. So we
Yeah.
like waited till we were at like the train station. We literally looked at each other and she went, what the fuck is that? Crying, tears. We both were crying. We were like, that was so overwhelming. We're so bad. We're not ready. We're not ready. We're in 4th semester. This should have been easy. We're not ready. Mind you, everybody else in that room was like, oh damn, we're done. But I do know somebody that got into that production of White
Shit.
Christmas and they were fantastic. We love her, we support her, we live for
Yes.
her. But that was like a really scary audition that really kind of because I
Yeah.
always heard about like those horror stories of like sometimes you're gonna get on the audition and cry, or like get out of the audition and like cry on
Mhm.
the subway home and you're gonna wear big sunglasses and just like get through it.
Yeah.
Brother.
Brother.
Brother. No, and honestly, I think that's also such a New York like canon event. Everybody at one point has to cry on the subway, and it's actually really nice to cry on the subway in New York
More
because
than
nobody gives a
I
once.
shit.
miss crying on the subway.
It was
More
the
than once.
best. Now I cry in the
Because it's
car
right. But I
by
loved crying
myself.
on the subway because I was like, I didn't feel alone. Like, I
Yeah,
wasn't like, I'm alone with my thoughts, but like, no one questions
cared.
you and no one
Yeah,
cares.
Yeah.
So it's like you have like a sense of like community, but you're
it was the
secluded and
best.
you just get to cry. Oh,
Yeah.
guys, it's so
The
nice.
best. Back in the
Yeah.
day when I used to cry on the subway. Um, but so you said you had an audition recently that you got yourself, not your manager, but you
Mhm.
have a manager.
I
So
do.
what's it been like working with them, her, him? Who
Yes,
is it?
so it's two women,
Yes.
but the main woman that I kind of work
Ladies.
with that I'm kind of like represented by is Carla Huff. So she
Mm-hmm.
has Dream Talent Management. So I have a
Mm-hmm.
manager. I don't have an agent yet. We also have another woman that I kind of work with, Emily. She's amazing. They're kind of like a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. I definitely feel like there's still a lot for me to learn about
Mm-hmm.
representation, how to advocate for myself. Is it
Mm-hmm.
appropriate for me to email them and be like, hey, how am I doing? Let's like, these are the things that you've kind of been sending me. Um, am I getting any feedback from casting? Or are you
Yeah.
hearing anything? How are my reels looking? Like, I did this class, here's some footage, or like, can you add this? Like, just, I think there's still a lot for me to learn of how to be kind of like self-sufficient and how to be a performer and professional in that
Yeah.
sense. But I also feel really honored because I found out from another one of the people that I knew from AMDA that the semester after us, when she was in front of the AMDA like 8 semesters, kind of like watching them audition, she talked about me and was like shining and so proud. And she was like, yeah,
Oh,
I recently signed on one of you guys, so you could be the next her. And she just went to Germany and has been doing this vocal intensive and is like, I'm so excited to her to be like this up and coming thing. And I just was like, so proud because she really is like more of a momager vibe. I feel as if I'm also like just part of the family, one of the kiddos.
talking about like advocating for yourself because like I have an agent. I don't have a manager, and I'm like I'm because I recently signed with him. It's been like a month and a half, or yeah, I think
Also,
so.
congrats.
Thank you. Very exciting. I
I
love
love
my
that.
team. I work with two people and I'm just obsessed with both of them. But I'm also still trying to figure out like where do I fall into this relationship and like do I message them if I feel like I'm not hearing anything or hearing enough or getting enough of auditions? And I know that like December nothing was fucking happening because the just industry shuts down in
Yeah.
December. That's why I did an unpaid production of Annie. Um,
I remember
but
that. My
like,
life, your
do you?
mother's life is an unpaid production of Annie.
Yes.
Mama
Yes. See,
Mary.
yes, indeed.
Mamas.
But like, do you like? How do you feel like? Do you feel like you're talking to them about like? Are you actually like searching? Like, do you check in with them? How often do you do that? Like, what is your relationship to your team?
So I wish my relationship was closer just because I do still feel kind
Okay.
of awkward emailing them. I am very on top of all of my emails, and I remember one big thing about when I signed with them in my contract, and one thing that Carla and I did discuss and talk about. She was like, I already get this vibe from you, but it's very important that communication is key. So
Mm-hmm.
having that relationship of like the respect goes both ways of she's trying to be respectful of my time of I understand I sent you this, but it's like within 24 hours or 48 hours. But communication is key. But it's also like I must respect her time of she's just not like sending me things to just send me things. Like she can send me things and then I have to make sure that I confirm the audition and, do my part as well as hers because it can't just
Yeah.
be one-sided. So I wish that I was a little bit closer because I do feel like I want to like I know that they're incredibly busy and it is the holidays, it's the new year, and I know things are finally starting to pick up. So I
Yes.
have been getting a lot more, especially because like summer stock season's around the corner. I've gotten a
Yeah.
few things from like those kinds of theaters, regional productions, and a good mix, a good slew of like theater, film, commercials, stuff like that. I wish I just put it in the forefront more of my life because
Yeah.
I feel like, especially during the holidays, I kind of got pulled away into my real world job and like not real world but like my survival job and like having to just work, and that was a period. But now I'm trying to transition into the period of okay, work is one thing, but audition season is now. How can I get prepped? How can I get ready? So I definitely think I'm going to reach out to her before things get really crazy and be like, hey, let's check in. How are my reels looking? How's my dance reel looking? How's my vocal reel looking? Have I gotten any notes? What are the notes you think? How can I maybe freshen this up, do more? Because I know that she might have gotten feedback at some sort. And I know that's usually not normal, but I do want to kind of have a check in like before it's kind of like this crazy busy time, and then check in after audition, like the massive audition season, to be like, okay, how do we feel like that went? What was working, what wasn't working, what got me the call back, what didn't get me back in the room. Why do you like, not making myself crazy of like, why didn't they pick me, or did I not fit the costume, or like am I not pretty enough, am I not this or that? It's just going like, what worked, what didn't, let's reassess, reassign, so we can continue working in this partnership. Because I really went through a period where I'm like, I feel like I'm letting her down just because I was in
Yeah.
Germany. Like I got hired, I got signed on and then left the country for a month and was out of office pretty much for that time.
Yeah.
So it just kind of felt like I was disappointing, and I was like a disappointment, and that's why it meant so much to kind of hear her like sing my praises, not as an ego
Yeah.
boost, but just like she's
No.
not holding it against me for doing something.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And last question. Is there one thing that like sticks out that like kind of surprised you that as like this is the big struggle or something that's either negative or positive? Like one thing stepping out of college, stepping into the real industry world, what is something that has stuck out to be like, "Oh, I didn't know this would be like that."
Yes.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is you'll hear teachers say it all the time of like, you will not be ready for this transition. The
Mhm.
biggest thing that stands out to me is I found out that I don't show up for myself. I show up for the
Oh.
people in my life. I show up for work. I show up for a class that I signed up for. I show up for an audition. I show up for, you know, brunch or coffee. Like I'm constantly outpouring things. But when I take a step back, I'm like, why am I not fulfilled? It's because I'm not pouring it into myself. I can say I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week and not go just because it's not
Yeah.
like I'm making excuses and not making the time, but it's like I'm not advocating for myself, I'm not taking the time to work on myself, or I'm not saying like I'm not showing up for myself. Like I can plan the personal time in, but I've noticed that other priorities have melded into that personal time. I think that's really the hardest thing because I never thought that I was showing up for teachers. And I never thought that I was like, because I always knew I was going to class because I loved it. Like I loved what I was doing. That's why I showed up. And it was like this partnership. But when that
Mhm.
accountability partner is not there, it's tough. And it's like
Yeah.
I kind of have to be my own, and that's all right. It's now going from a point of everything being told of like, hey, this is a way you can do it, or this is a way you can do it, or here's this technique, or maybe try a digital planner, or maybe try writing things down, maybe make a list, make a 5 year
Yeah.
plan, make a 3 year plan, make goals, blah blah blah. Like you're having all of this information just thrown at you, and it's just being like, I have a voice inside and out. I need to listen and use both of them. And I need to show up for me. Because if I'm not showing up for me, how can I show up for other people? So I definitely think that the biggest thing was I thought I was ready for. And I mean, I do have like good techniques. Like I have all the tools, but it's just like really sitting and centering myself and going, I can listen to myself and I can make a decision, and no one has to yes it or check it off or okay it before it goes through. I am proud of what I do, how I do it, what I say, how I say it. And if it was a mistake, then it's my mistake and I own that. So instead of waking up and being disappointed that I didn't reach that expectation and that's spoiling my day, I was like, we're gonna reframe, rework, and like Kiki Palmer, we love a reframe. We love a reframe. So it's just like I have a voice and I can stand by that and just owning who I am, and it's just being authentically my weird.
Love it. That
I
was a
love.
beautiful answer. I love
Love.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love.
Wow.
Love.
Love. Love.
All
Love
right.
that.
Well, then you know what time it is. That's my line.
You know what time it is. Does Natalie know what time it is?
I don't
Do
think
you
I
know
know
what
what
time
time
it
it
is, Natalie?
is.
Whose line is it?
It is time to play Whose Line Is It? Jenny and I created this genius game.
Yes.
We are going to give you some lines. They may be from movies or TV shows or musicals, or
Musicals.
even inside jokes between us.
Okay.
And we
Or
are
just
going to give you
anything
some
from life,
lines.
honestly.
Yeah, anything. And you're going to guess who said it.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I sure as heck
All
hope
right.
so.
The first line is, I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet, but your kids are gonna love it.
Oh, that's
Whose
from
line
Back
is
to the
it?
Future. Marty McFly. Back to the Future, the first one. He's at the
Okay.
Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and he plays a riff after Johnny Be Good.
Beautiful. And is that from the movie or the musical?
Or both.
Both.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. All right, Jocelyn, take it away.
It all goes downhill from here.
Okay. Second one. Second line for you, Miss Mama, is I want more than the boy next door. I want hell on wheels.
After Grease 2, it's during Cool Rider, and I think she's on she's going to the ladder when she's like, I don't want the boy next door, I want hell on wheels.
But who said it?
And skin tight leather.
She just keeps
Her
singing.
name is Michelle Pfeiffer, and I don't remember
The actress, yes.
The name in the movie is
I didn't remember it until I Googled it.
Wait, because I know it's like Frenchie. The only thing, I don't remember her name because I just remember her running around going, Johnny, don't! Johnny, no! I don't remember her name though. I feel so bad.
No, her name in the
It's
movie
okay.
is Stephanie.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
like,
no
you
one says,
fucking
"Oh,
nailed
Steph."
it.
Right, thank you. Thank
fucking
you. But
nailed
still.
it.
Yeah.
But she runs
We are
around
2
half
for
the
2.
movie going,
And
Johnny, don't! Sorry, continue.
All right. Third line. This is a personal favorite for both Jocelyn and I. Fuck you and your wins.
That is from yours truly. And
Well, yes.
I shared that with the girls because I was on the train with my sister coming back from San Diego, and the Santa Ana winds are really bad, and they made my nose bleed because I have a very delicate respiratory system. So we were passing Santa Ana on the train, and I went, "Fuck you, winds," and just flipped them off. So yeah.
Yes. Because, well, also
Yeah.
Santa Ana caused the Palisades fires.
Exactly. So like, fuck that.
Circling back.
That part. Circling back, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Jocelyn has the last line.
All right, final line for you, Miss Mama.
Okay.
Are we seriously not friends anymore because of Wicked Monopoly?
That is from Jenny, Miss Jenny on the block. And I still am, I don't hold it against you, but you know, you're good at Monopoly. You monopolized the opportunity to bankrupt your best friend and embarrass me in a slow, long, excruciating death of a debt.
And
I was out of
loved
the
it.
game first.
I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I know you did.
So for context, for those of you still listening, I hope every single one of you are, we used to play Wicked Monopoly a lot, and it used to be like 3-hour games, and we took it very seriously. There was that one game, I think it was the first game ever.
It was the
where
first
I
one we
really
played.
First, and
yeah,
I think
yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
like the last. Because it was that, and then it was when we had it with the boys, and then that was the last time we played.
Yeah, we were just like,
It was
it's
too
too
much.
much.
So we played it a lot. We played it twice.
We played it,
twice.
well, we played it for a long time, actually.
We played it for 4.5, wait, I think it was 4.5 hours.
I had really monopolized the game, and I rightfully won because I bought Jocelyn out. I bought everything from her, and then just slowly and surely I was like, I'll give you this for everything. And Natalie, I will give you props for you fought until the last fucking
You did.
second.
You did.
Because she said, I'm not fucking going down. And I remember, like, you were getting more and more irritated, and rightfully so, because I was being a prick. But I said, like, I give you this for that, and you just said, I'm not selling.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, we take this game very seriously, and I was having the time of my life. And then, like, game over, I win, and Natalie, like, you walked away, and I got so scared, because I was like, oh shit, I actually hurt her feelings.
Because it was like, we were like, yay, we won! And I was like, time to clean up.
Yeah, you like folded the board in silence, put it away, walked away. And
then
Jenny
we
was
were-
just sitting there
it's
like,
are we seriously not friends anymore because of Wicked Monopoly?
I was like, no, I just had to mope for like 15 minutes and then got
It's
over
okay.
it.
It's
But, like,
okay.
it's fair.
I would have
Like,
done the
game-
same reaction had I fought.
Yes.
Had I died like
Yeah.
that? Yes, I would have been that pissed off.
Game respects game. Like, you know, fair. Like,
Game
that was a
respects
hell
game.
of a way. That was a hell of a game of Monopoly. And honestly, if you're not,
Mhm.
if it's not ending in that, you're not playing Monopoly.
That's
Right.
right.
I said what I
I've
said.
become a capitalist when it comes to Wicked fucking Monopoly. Capitalism rules only in Wicked Monopoly.
Only in Wicked Monopoly.
I'm
Get
not
that
gonna
clear.
edit it like that.
Actually, great.
I'm gonna
yeah.
leave it at
Make me look
capitalist.
like a capitalist. But thank you, Natalie, so much. We
Yes.
had
You
such a
were 4
wonderful
for
time
4.
with you.
Thank you.
Honestly,
I know.
yeah.
I was like, and then
4
I
for
was
4
like,
on your
wait.
lines.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, but they were
Jenny and
so
I don't do
good.
that good.
Oh,
No,
they were
we're
so
not that good. Thank you so much for coming, Natalie. We had such
Thank
an awesome
you.
time with you. We miss you so much. Come back to LA.
I will.
We need to make
Soon.
a trip.
Yeah.
Meet
We
somewhere
do.
in the middle. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing your
Yes.
your experience with us, and we will talk to you soon. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in for another episode of That's My Line.
Yes.
And this has been That's My Line.
With Jen and Joss.
Whoa, 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 yeah.
Thank you so
Work!
much, Natalie. That ate. Now, Natalie, tell us about your date.
Well,